Good evening, everyone. Am I properly audible to all? Is there any issue with my voice? Just let me know. Am I audible to everyone? Okay, so instead of just providing me the emojis or responding me with the thumbs up, you people can also switch your mic on and let me know if there are any issues. All right. And before
Yes,
starting the
yes,
session,
audible, ma'am.
all right, great. Before starting the session, I just want to know that how many of you do have some kind of knowledge about what web development actually is, and those who are actual freshers, just raise your hands. Those who have worked previously in web development or the basic HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, etc. Anyone? Okay, Kamlesh, Priyaranjan. No one else? All right. So I can see only three people who have worked with them. So let me share my screen to you people at first. Is the screen visible? Is there any issues with the screen?
Yes, ma'am. Visible, ma'am.
Okay, all right. So for you to know that this is a very important thing for you people to understand and learn JavaScript while we are working with the web development. And the reason that I'm saying this is because we will be working with the Mon stack. Now the question arises, what do I exactly mean by Mon stack? So each and every alphabet which is present inside the Mon provides us the technology that we are going to use in order to develop an entire website. All right. So you people might have surfed through different kind of websites. Let it be an e-commerce website, an edtech website such as Unacademy, etc. And take for example such as Agio, Flipkart, all those websites, right? So what happens? Whichever data we send from our front end, that means from the user, the whichever data the user sends, what kind of data do we send to the website as a user? We provide what? At the time of registration, we provide the website. Say, for example, you are trying to register yourself in Flipkart, isn't it? And at that time, what do? In order to register yourself, you provide your email ID, possibly your name, your password, etc. Am I clear? Right? Okay. At that time, after providing all these details, did you ever imagine what happens to all these details which you are providing as a user? Where are they getting stored? Right? So, for that purpose, we are having a database. And what is the purpose of the database? The purpose of using the database is to store the entire data of the user. Right? And after storing these data in the database, what happens when we try to log in a particular website? Whichever data we have provided at the time of registering us, that data we need to provide again, like our password. So those data which are already stored inside the database and the data which we are providing at the time of login is compared, right? And if the data matches, at that time we get the access in order to do whichever function we want to perform inside the website, like ordering something for ourselves or making a payment inside that website, etc. Isn't it? So, this is how that entire interaction of a user with a website is taking place, isn't it? You people might have seen this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Alright. So now we'll be studying how does the data which we send to the website is processed. What do I mean by the processing of the data? Just the way I said, the email ID and password that we provide as a user are being compared. Compared to what? The data which is already present in our database. So here, so those comparisons and the processing of the data, like where to take the data, what to compare, how to compare, as well as what kind of data do we need to get from the server. All those things are carried out with the help of the backend, right? So now you might be wondering, what do I mean by the front end, or what do I mean by the backend? And as I have said, we use the database in order to store the data, isn't it? So here we'll go through a quick PPT, which is going to speak a lot of things about Stack. So here comes the components of Stack. The Stack consists of four main things. As I have said, MongoDB is the database. Express is the JavaScript framework, and this framework is used in order to develop the backend of a website. After that comes the React. React is used in order to develop the front end of the website. And Node.js. What do I mean by this Node.js? Node.js is something. I won't say something. It's a runtime environment, right? How many of you do know Java or have worked with Java ever? How many of you? Okay. Aryan, Kamlesh, Priyaranjan, Harika. All right. So just tell me one thing. Whenever you are trying to write a Java code and you try to execute something, what is the first thing that you need to install in your laptop so that your Java code run?
Extension, ma'am.
Extension of what?
JVM.
I mean, decode the code.
Hello.
Yeah.
We need to install the JVM.
Environment, ma'am.
Okay.
Java
Did you people
runtime environment.
did you people heard of something called JDK?
Yes.
For the Java JDK, yes, ma'am.
Development
Uh,
kit.
For the
without
C, MinGW.
yeah, right. So the MinGW and all those things are the providers, right? And the GNU GCC compiler for C++, isn't it? Similarly, just the way we require JDK as well as all these things so that our Java code works, similarly, what do we need? We need this Node.js. Why do we need this Node.js? See, whenever we are simply working with the normal JavaScript, at that time, our browser, right? Our browser only understands JavaScript, nothing else. All right. So the browser only is enough for understanding our JavaScript codes, isn't it? Right. But here we are doing what? Here we are using frameworks. And in that frameworks, we are trying to run the JavaScript codes. So in order to work with all these framework like Node.js, like React, Express, the front end and back end framework, we need to install Node.js in our respective laptops, without which we will not be able to run the back end or the front end. All right. So on the basis of what I have said, can you people predict what do I mean by the front end? I would want to ask Priyaranjan what does he mean by the front end on the basis of whichever data I have provided till now.
Ma'am, front end means this is a like a website having front end means full creativity or design of website. This is the front end, ma'am. And also this is not function. This is full interface of the website.
Okay. And what do you mean by the backend?
Backend means, ma'am, after front end, if I will click the any request or maybe any button, it will be in backend. It will be work, and then he will be give some it will process, and he will be give the next page or some data or maybe relative to another function or maybe another things. It
Great.
will be act
So
like a,
Priyaranjan,
maybe if I put the button means it will be act like a add cart or maybe successful or some.
yeah, all right, great. So as you people have heard Priyaranjan saying that whenever we try to press a button or we click on certain links on the web page, we are navigated to a particular page, or we are able to see any kind of function taking place on our screens, isn't it? Or else we can also see that some kind of information are being returned to us. And he also added that a process is taking place. So how does, from the starting of the session only, we are hearing a word that is processing of the data. So how does this processing of the data taking place? Here comes the APIs. Now, what do we mean by the APIs? The APIs are written in a particular coding language. Let it be Java, let it be JavaScript, anything. Alright. So, what do? We provide some basic logics inside those APIs. And those APIs are the set of functions which we as the developers write. Why do we write the functions? So that whichever data we are going to provide from the front end, those data are taken by the server, and then after providing those data as a user, we need the required data, right? So that required data is again processed by the APIs and then returned us the final data which we required the server to provide us with. All right. Now here comes, we are repeatedly using a word that is requesting, and the server will respond us back. So this entire thing is taking place with the help of the request and response cycle. So what are we doing? We are trying to send a request to the server. Being a client, we will send a request. From where are we going to send a request? With our respective browsers like Microsoft Edge, Chrome, etc. So now we have sent the request. What will happen? The server is going to take the entire request made by the client. Now what will the server do? The server is going to process that request with the help of the APIs which we have written as backend developers, right? With the help of those APIs, the server is going to fetch the data from where? From the database. So whichever data the user requires or the client requires will be returned, not the entire data, but only those data which the user has asked for. So the backend will process again the data which it has fetched from the database, process it, and then it will return the processed data to the user. This whole thing is known as client-server architecture. Am I clear to everyone? Are there any issues with the client-server architecture? I'm clear. I'm making the whole point clear, right?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
Here there are placed certain prerequisites which we need to understand before starting the MERN stack. As I have said that the JavaScript is the utmost important language that you need to learn in order to work with the MERN stack. And here there are written two terms, that is Node.js, of which I have previously told what it exactly is and why do we need that. And one more thing that is mentioned over here is the NPM. So you people might have heard of a manager. Have you people ever heard about it? A manager?
Yes.
What is the work of a manager? What does the manager serve in an institution?
Manage the requirements.
Requirements as in what kind of requirements? What does he exactly do? Some of the tasks of a manager. Anyone? What does the manager do? Hello? Okay. So I guess you people may not be knowing, or you people might be knowing, or if you people don't want to answer. All right. So what does the manager actually do inside the institution? At times, the manager himself hires certain kind of candidates inside the institution, or the manager can also remove some candidates from the institutions. These are most basic things that the managers do. They carry out the whole process inside the institution, starting from hiring of certain candidates, taking care of what they might be doing inside the institution, what are their salary expectations, updating their salaries, etc., etc., isn't it? So the NPM that we have seen in our presentation stands for the Node Package Manager. All right. So what is the NPM responsible for? Whenever we are working with the one stack, or we are trying to develop the back end or the front end, at that times there lies certain dependencies. Now, what do we mean by the dependency? There are certain pre-written um, modules. All right. For a time being, just remember them as modules. Now, why do we need them? Those modules have certain predefined methods. All right. With the help of those predefined methods, it becomes easier for the backend developers or the front, or the web developers, in order to carry out the whole coding in an easier way without having to write much of the code. All right. Say for example, Express.js. Now here is our database, that is MongoDB, and the backend is our Express.js framework, right? So how to connect them? In order to connect both of them, we require a dependency, and the name of the dependency is Mongoose. So in order to install the Mongoose, what we have to do? We have to provide a command. What command is that? That the manager, that is the Node Package Manager, will say, I am installing the Mongoose dependency in our backend folder, right? So for that, we just need to write npm install mongoose. By just writing this command, we'll get the entire Mongoose dependency. All right. And with the help of the predefined methods which are present inside the dependency, we are going to connect the Mongoose with the backend framework. Am I clear to this part? What does the npm do? Am I clear? All right. After the npm, here are few more things, that is the HTML and CSS, which you people might be having the idea that HTML provides the structure or the skeleton of the entire web page, starting from the header tags to the paragraph tags to the buttons and whatnots, like the radio buttons, the check boxes, or the banner, etc. All those things, not the banner exactly, the images, the links, etc., are what provided by the HTML. And then CSS is used in order to make the entire component visually appealing, in order to style those components. And then comes the APIs, of which I have already told. There are few more types of APIs, right? Speaking of which, we are having at first the REST API. Now, what do we mean by the REST API? The REST API stands for Representational State Transfer API. All right. Why is it used? So, again, coming back to the manager example. Let me provide a scenario to you people. All right. Say, for example, Rahul is joining a company. All right. So, whenever you try to join a company, there lies a system for that company which manages all the records of that particular employee, right? Hello. Hello. Guys, you people can just open your mics and respond me
Hello.
back.
Yes, ma'am. You are audible, ma'am.
Yeah. So whenever I ask and I take a pause, and you people just interact with me or respond me back. Otherwise, I will be like, I will be thinking that there are some issues with my voice or something. So as I
Okay,
have
ma'am.
said, that's, say for example, any person is joining a company, and inside that company there lies a system which handles all the data related to that particular employee. So after after taking a new person as an employee inside the institution, what does the developer has to do? the developer has to create a new data or the new account related to that particular employee, right? So what is the developer actually doing over there? He's trying to create a new data, isn't it? Now, after a few months, the employee has got an increment in his salary. Okay, at that time, what does the developer need to do? The developer need to update the already existing data in the database, right? After that, what will happen? If the employee will ask the developer to show all the details, at that time, the developer has to read all the data which is present inside his server. And finally, a time will come when the employee is going to leave that institution, right? At that time, the data is no longer required. So the developer can remove the entire data which is present for that particular employee. So from starting of the entering the data of that particular employee to removing the data, there are four steps involved, or you people can also say four major functions involved: creation of the data, reading of the data, updating the data, and deleting the data, right? So these are the things that we do with the help of REST APIs: creation, updation, deletion, and reading of the data. So how do we do that? With the help of CRUD operations that we perform in the backend. And all of these are carried out with the help of HTTP methods. So now can anyone tell me what do you people mean by HTTP? I don't require the full form. Just keep it in mind that I don't require the full form. But I need to know what kind of work does HTTP do? What it exactly is.
Hello.
Yeah.
And it does the work of CRUD operations like get, post, delete, and update data into the database.
How does it do that? And what do you mean by HTTP? Web browser and web server.
And it's a protocol that is used to communicate between the server and the backend of the application.
What do you mean by protocols? What do you mean by protocols? We use it in our day-to-day lives, right? Like whenever you are present inside an institution, we say there are certain protocols that we need to maintain over here. What do we mean by that?
Few fixed set of instruction that it
Can
takes
I
to follow.
answer?
Yeah,
Protocols
sure.
are set of instructions.
Ma'am, protocol means this is a kind of rule. Okay. So how to routing the network, how to take the request, and how it will be send the request. This is the there have the rule and a structure. This is the called as a protocol.
Okay. So, nah, all right. So this HTTP that all of you know is the hypertext transfer protocol. So what we are trying to do over here, we are just trying to transfer data on the basis of the links, isn't it? If we are going to click on a particular link, then these set of functions will get executed. So now inside the HTTP, we have certain methods. That is the get method, the post method, the put method, and the delete method. From the name itself, we get to know what does the delete method do. That is deletion of the entire data, right? After that, what do we do? What do we have? We have the post method. The post method is used in order to create a new data. After that, the put method comes. The put method is used in order to update the existing data. And finally, the get method is used in order to read all the data, which we will be implementing by the next steps. All right. And now comes what exactly do we do with the help of React while we are working in the front end. So, all right, let me show you a website at this time. Any people see the Amazon website?
Yes.
Yes.
Alright. So, if I will click on any kind of text which is present, okay. So let me know. Do you people know what this entire thing is called? That is placed at the top.
URL.
Not this bar.
Nav
I'm
bar.
talking about yeah, nav bar. Okay, all right. And why is it called the nav bar? This whole thing.
Because of here most of the control the full website buttons.
Not exactly. It is known as a nav bar because with the help of this bar, we can navigate to different pages as per our requirement and let it be any kind of page. Say, for example, if we want to view the mobiles page, clicking on this, the server will take us to the page related to mobiles, right? And we have different kind of things placed in the nav bar. That is the icon, then the location, a search bar, and then the country drop down. And after that, we have a paragraph tag, and then one more paragraph tag, and finally an emoji and a card. So, what will happen if I will click on the mobile? So, can you people see what changes did happen over here when I clicked on mobile? Let me click on new releases. Just look at this. Yeah, see what is happening when I am clicking on any of them. The data which is present inside the address bar is changing, isn't it? If I will click over here and then I will click here. And now you people can see again that the data present inside the address bar has changed again, right? This is how the data changes whenever we try to navigate from one page to another page, right? So, can you people tell me when we have clicked on this particular page, did the nav there has there occurred any kind of changes in the nav bar, or the nav bar is still the same?
Still same.
And why is it happening? This is happening because those uh, this entire front end is nothing but a single page application, right? And now, what do we mean by a single page application? So there, previous times we used to have different HTML pages. All right, what did we used to do? We used to link different kind of HTML pages together. Now, if there will be different kind of HTML pages, there will be different kind of component placed in those pages, right? And whenever I clicked on a particular link, then an entire new page will appear on the screen for me, right?
Yes.
We used to make those websites by linking all the different kind of HTML pages together. But here, when the framework came into the play, what has happened? Instead of creating an entire page, what are we doing? We are placing a component, right? We are writing the codes for a particular component. Say, for example, we have a page entirely a JavaScript page, or you will understand what we are going to do. An entire code dedicated to how this navbar is going to work, or how this navbar only is going to look, or what all contents will this navbar have. After the navbar, we are going to design the component which is placed below that, that is the category component, which will have this text and then different categories placed over here, and the functions related to all those, that hovering on a particular category, what will happen? Hovering on this particular category will lead to, and when we will hover on this category. So there are many more things related to the component. And after that, we have designed a filter component. Filter of what? What is the filter component will have? What all contents will it have? The prices and the icons, the ratings, as well as different checkboxes. As people can see over here, there are a number of checkboxes which are present over here, basis of which the data will be manipulated. What data? The data, in order to show all the data, we are having one more component, that is this entire component, where we are storing the data and displaying the data related to that particular image, right? So now are you being able to understand, changing only by clicking on a particular thing only, how are the components being changed? Even a small idea about it. If I click on this, then we can see that only those contents which are present in this particular components are changing. Rest of the things are same only. This component which is placed in the left side along with the nav bar as well as the category component. Again, people can see that clicking on sportswear, we are getting different kind of images. So this is what we mean by designing a front end, and how this is how the single page applications are different from the multiple page applications. And we'll explore more these things in detail when we will be learning React. All right. And whenever we are trying to go from one page to another page, or we're trying to access another page, what do we call it? We call it navigation. That we are navigating from one page to another page. And clicking each and every text is providing us with different kind of responses, right? So these all things are depend upon the front end only. We categorize certain values, we take the already existing data from the database, on the basis of which we categorize different kind of products. Am I clear to this part?
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any kind of doubt? Oh, okay. All right. So by the next class, what you people are expected to do? You people need to need to be ready with few things in your laptops or PCs. First one that you need to have in your laptops is the VS Code. All right. And after the VS Code, the second thing that you people need to install is the Node.js. And then install the MongoDB Compass. And after that, fetch your MongoDB URI. MongoDB URI. And after that, install the Postman. And I will tell you about the MongoDB and the Postman when we will be working with them, by showing all those things to you practically. All right. So just be ready with these three things. And in the next class, we will make our first CRUD operations, and then we are going to check it in the Postman. We are going to test the CRUD operations. All right. We will be integrating our backend with the MongoDB, and then we are going to perform our CRUD operations. Is there any doubt in this part?
No, ma'am.
No.
No, ma'am.
All right. If there are no any doubts, any people can leave the meeting. Okay, Priyaranjan, do you have
Thank
any
you,
kind
ma'am.
of doubt? Priyaranjan, is there any doubt?
No, ma'am.
Okay, all right. Okay, people can leave the meeting then.